before this fight, I was always on the mountain of Jake. You don't want Nate Diaz. The pressure, the volume he brings, it's not going to be good. After watching that, I looked at Frank because Frank was like, oh my, he was not rooting for Jake. His wife sure as fuck wasn't, because they're UFC till the day they die. They want Anderson to win. After that fight, I looked at Frank's face. I knew where he was at, and I go, real quick, and it was as they're reading off because I knew he was going to win. I go, Nate versus Jake, who you got? And Frank goes, Jake, in every way, Jake. And he goes, matter of fact, I didn't even say Connor's going to have some issues. After watching that,
100%.
He was like, Nate's going to have some issues. He goes, I don't think Nate's going to be favored in that fight. I was like, I think there's going to be some problems.
Well, you got to understand something. I mean, a lot of this is physics. You're talking about he's a big guy. Jake is probably 200 pounds walking around, okay? And he's also a strong 200 pounds. And that is, and when he hits
explosive.
you, and he's explosive, and he's 25 years old, ladies and gentlemen. So now you're talking about Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz is a volume puncher, but Nate Diaz doesn't have a lot of leg and ass.
He's older. He's not a knockout
hard
artist.
puncher. He's an accurate puncher. But yeah, so I think someone who's as big as Jake can rush his way in there, take whatever shots Nate gives him. You're talking about boxing now. We're not talking about MMA.
No.
So you can take those shots. You really can.
From Nate.
You can take those shots from Nate, and then what happens is, what are you going to do when Jake puts his head down and starts throwing with everything he's got, which he's going to do? You're gonna, in 8 rounds, there's gonna be an opening. Now, here's who I want to see him fight.
But let me ask, before you say that, back to Nate, let me ask you this. If you had to tell me this, B, who has better movement, who's more fluid with head work? Anderson Silva or Nate Diaz?
Anderson, 100% Silva.
Correct. Now, he landed on Silva.
Here's the thing, too. Yes, he did.
So for Nate,
That's
for
what
8 rounds?
Right.
God dang.
I know.
I can't believe we're talking like this.
I know.
But that's kudos to Jake.
But I love Nate, so I want the money for him, but I don't want to see Nate get hurt because I don't think Nate has anything to prove. Nate is a guy we all want to see, but I am not as hungry to see this fight anymore with Nate.
Oh, I am.
I actually want to see. I want to see now. I have mixed emotions.
I'll tell you why I want to see.
So here's how I feel about Jake. I don't want Jake to. I think it's unfair for everybody to go, now let's see him fight Gennady Golovkin, or something like that.
So stupid.
I don't want to see that. There's a balancing act here. He's so entertaining. He's doing the impossible, but I don't want to see the guy get hurt, and I don't want to see the guy fight somebody he's not quite ready for.
But also, why would he do that? So let's say Jake's your son, B, and Jake comes up and goes, hey, Dad, I mean a lot of shit online, dude, for fighting these older legends. Should I fight a Canelo? And you can go,
absolutely not.
Well, you'd go, okay, just financially, well, how much you making fighting the Woodleys and the Askrens and the
all the money.
Andersons? And you
all
go, I'll probably make $20 million off the last fight. He goes, okay. Now, if you fight a real boxer, let's say it's not Canelo. Let's just say you fight a boxer who's 10-0, who doesn't have anywhere near the draw power, but it's a more dangerous fight. How much you making? It's just gonna be predicated off my pay-per-view buys, maybe $3 million, $4 million. You go, why would you do that?
So this is
to
exactly
please the internet.
This is exactly what I'm saying. I would have to have a conversation with Nate with Jake and say, hey, look, man, you're so exciting to watch, and you're fighting these guys, and we're all interested. How serious are you about being an actual boxer that takes this all the way through your 30s? Is that worth the head trauma? Is it worth actually getting in with guys where that's the only thing they have?
He said it's not. He said he's
because he's
on record.
smart.
Yeah.